Hey guys, Dora here, and today we're going to be talking about the series that I am not going to finish. The reasons I'm going to use vary depending on the book I'm talking about. Some series I'm not going to pick up, mostly because the story didn't interest me at the moment, but that doesn't mean I won't be picking them up later on. Or the story didn't interest me and I just won't be picking it up at all. Or I don't have the time to read the series. What I consider to be a series is a series that has 3 or more books. So without further ado, let's just get started. The first series I'm going to talk about is the Mara Dyer series. Now, I've read the first 2 books and I was really excited for the third one, but as time kept going, the publication date for the last book of the series, which I think is The Retribution of Mara Dyer, was pushed back so many times. When I read the second book, I believe it was in February, and the last book was supposed to come out in March, but then it went on to April. So I was like, okay, it's April, I can deal with that. But then as April kept coming up, they pushed the publication date back again, and it was going to be published in June. So we have March, April, June, and towards the end I just lost interest in the whole story, and that is one way to make me lose interest in a story, is when the publication date keeps changing and changing and changing. So the publisher or the author, whoever fault it was in this situation, decided to make us wait another year after we've already waited a whole year for this last book. So after that I just lost interest and I really don't care for the story anymore. Series number 2, Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pierce. Now, I've read the first book and I was really interested in the story. I read this book about a year ago. I love mysteries and I loved the premise of the story, but as of right now, I don't have time to finish this series. One, because I don't have the next 2 books in the series, and 2, I don't have time to borrow them from my library and read them as fast as I can, because I don't have the time to read them as fast as I can. That is the reason why I won't be continuing on as of right now with this series. I will sometime in the future, but I don't see it happening this year. The next series is Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. Now, this is the second book, not the first one. I read Fallen Kingdoms 2 summers ago. I absolutely adored it. I love the storyline and I love all the POVs. But as of right now, again, I don't have the time to continue on with the series. I don't have time to reread the first one because I don't own it. There's so many books in this series, but either way, as of right now, I still don't have the time to finish up the series. This next series is actually a series that was supposed to be finished, but as it turned out, we got news that 3 more books were going to be released in this series, and that is Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. I read this series at the start of my booktubing and I absolutely adored it. I felt like the conclusion was a bit off and a little bit too wide open, but I had made my peace with it. So when the news broke out that we're getting 3 more books, I don't know about you, but I wasn't as excited as most of the world is. So I don't have the time, and honestly, I am not interested in finishing this series. And the last series that I won't be picking up anytime soon because I totally lost interest is Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevre. I don't own a physical copy of this book. I do have it in ebook form, but I did try to read the second book in the series a few weeks after finishing Grave Mercy, but I never got to it, mostly because I lost interest, and I think because it was told from a different point of view, which I didn't like at the time. I didn't like reading different point of view books. Will I give it another try? Maybe. I just don't see it happening this year. Maybe in 2018. Those are all the books. Oh, I'm sorry. That was not all the books. The real last series that I will not be continuing on is the Luck series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I read the first one, which was Obsidian, and I started the second book, but at the time I felt it to be too much like Twilight. And I know you're not supposed to compare stories because every story is different, it's told differently, but I'm a big Twihard even till this day. I won't be continuing on with the Luck series, and I don't see myself picking them up anytime soon. Okay, now that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and click subscribe if you want to see more of my face, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!